the shorter form of the Gospel today. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. He spat on the ground and made clay with the saliva and smeared the clay on his eyes and said to him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam," which means sent. So he went and washed, and he came back able to see. His neighbors and those who had seen him earlier as a beggar said, "Isn't this the one who used to sit and beg?" Some said, "It is." But others said, "No, he just looks like him." He said, "I am." They brought the one who was once blind to the Pharisees. Now Jesus had made clay and opened his eyes on a Sabbath. So then the Pharisees also asked him how he was able to see. He said to them, "He put clay on my eyes, and I washed, and now I can see." So some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, because he does not keep the Sabbath." But others said, "How can a sinful man do such signs?" And there was a division among them. So they said to the blind man again, "What do you have to say about him, since he opened your eyes?" He said, "He is a prophet." They answered and said to him, "You were born totally in sin, and you are trying to teach us?" Then they threw him out. When Jesus heard that they had thrown him out, he found him and said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" He answered and said, "Who is he, sir, that I may believe in him?" Jesus said to him, "You have seen him, and the one speaking with you is he." He said, "I do believe, Lord." And he worshipped him. The Gospel of the Lord. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we know already all the Lenten Sundays. Every single Sunday brings us something very special, a picture or a symbol or a story, which is to help us by walking through this holy Lenten season, this time in which we are invited to deepen our relationship with Jesus, to go deeper and deeper into my faith, to renew my faith. And we know this is a very important task or goal or purpose, but we can't do this at our own. We need the grace of God, God's mercy, divine mercy, to renew our faith. The first Sunday invited you and me to the desert. And we remember there was Jesus who was tempted by the evil one, and he showed that he is the Son of God. The second Sunday invited us to the top of the mountain, and there Jesus showed his real face as the Son of Man and Son of God. And we heard the voice from heaven, "This is my beloved Son." Last Sunday, the third Sunday of Lent, invited us to the well, to the desert in Samaria, where Jesus met the Samaritan woman, and he healed her. He healed all her wounds, or her problems, her heart. He showed this woman how great divine mercy is. How great God is who forgives the sin and renews the heart. And today, you and me, we are invited to see this meeting somewhere. Jesus passed by and he just saw someone who was blind from birth. So the gospel today and the readings are about light. There is someone who walks in darkness, who doesn't see colors, shades, shapes, nothing. He is just blind from birth. And Jesus heals him. He literally touches him with saliva, with clay, and he lets him go. Go and wash in the pool of Siloam, which means sand. And this man follows this direction. He goes, washes himself, and he is healed. Suddenly he can see for the first time in his life. He is able to see. So Jesus heals his body. He heals his eyes. But you know, this is also a picture of something deeper. He heals, he touches not only his body, but also his soul. Because living in darkness, walking in darkness, it's the picture and symbol in the Bible about walking in sins. We are sometimes very weak as humans. We commit sins. And we know that every sin, this is just like walking into darkness, turning back from the light and going through the darkness without God's grace. So this blind man is just like a symbol, a picture of us, you and me, everyone who decides to commit sin, because this is always our decision to do something against God's will. And then we know the way, the darkness, being alone without God. And therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, we see Jesus today as a healer. Again, he has the mighty power. His word, his touch is able to heal. But we see that not everyone wants to be healed. The Pharisees, they have the adults. Of course, this is Sabbath, these are the rules, so he is eventually not allowed to heal. For them, there are only the rules which are important. Not this blind man, not the healing, not the mercy, but the rules. And therefore, we see that the Pharisees, they close their hearts. They are not able to receive God's mercy. They are not able to receive Jesus Christ. My dear friends, today, when we hear this gospel, and this is such a powerful gospel about light and darkness, and this is this Sunday, the fourth Sunday of Lent, the Sunday of Roses. You know, it is a very old tradition from Middle Ages that exactly on the fourth Sunday of Lent, the Pope blessed golden roses, which were as a sign of God's divinity and kingdom. And because of these roses, the Church began to use this beautiful color. I'm writing now a study about the colors in the writings of St. Anthony. And you know, in the Middle Ages when St. Anthony lived, it was clear for everyone that every color has to do with light. And indeed, look at our windows. Beautiful, colorful windows. When we don't have light, when it is dark outside, we don't see the colors. We don't see the saints here in our windows. So we need the light to see the colors. And therefore, Middle Ages, they found out that every color which is bright, so for example white, has to do with light, has to do with God's grace. So white is the color of grace. Look, the baptism, for example. White color. And dark, the more darker, the less light, is the color of penance. And therefore we have the purple color in the Lenten season, and this one Sunday, which is near towards Easter, is a little bit lighter, with light. This is purple color with white, therefore the color of roses. So my dear brothers and sisters, it's not the lecture about the colors, but it's the symbolism of the Church. The church shows us the more God's light in you, the more grace in your heart. Therefore, an invitation again for you and me on this fourth Sunday of Lent. Letare, rejoice. Open your heart for Jesus. Open your heart and invite divine mercy. Let Jesus touch you with his grace, so you will be also able to see all my sins, to see all my failures, to see all my struggles, to bring them to Jesus, and he will heal me. This is what is so important today. You have seen him. The one who is speaking with you is he. And this blind man who was healed said, I do believe, O Lord. And he worshipped Jesus. We ask Mother Mary, our Blessed Lady, that she might intercede for us, pray for us, that we might be also able to see the light, to see Jesus in our life, that we might be healed and filled with grace and mercy.